Hi! Here we are. It's episode 13, aka the reunion of season 10 of Rupaul's Drag Race. It's the reunion! And we start straight off with VANJIE, Miss VANJIE, who has appeared in more episodes than any other previous queen who was first to leave. It's created hundreds of memes and is now part of the LGBT vernacular. And you know what? It can be used in pretty much any situation. When you watch it again though, check out those shoes. Ooh, VANJIE. I love that she didn't just think she was going to leave, and so she just didn't have anything to say. And that's all she could think of. Smart cooking. Get your name out there. She looks flawless. Lip syncs. What was your favourite one this season? There's so many great ones to choose from this season. I'd like to know, what was your favourite? Put it in the comments below. Mine, I think, was Cameron and Eureka. Just because both of them really went for it. Close second would be Monet. I wouldn't be upset if Monet did a whole solo show of lip syncs, because that queen knows how to work the stage. I'm absolutely loving how salty Monique is about seeing her lip sync again. It is hilarious. But you know what, she's self-aware enough of it to be sort of defensive, yes, but sassy and kind of about it at the same time. Shit happens, suck it up sort of thing. Aquaria deals with her failings quite well, I think, in this episode, in that she explains, in terms of the context of the show, it made her really worry that she was going to get sent home. And there's very little doubt in Aquaria, you know, at least outwardly. And it was one of the rare moments where she was concerned about her position within the entire competition. Now we're on to Cameron and Ms. Cracker and their lip sync. Can we just take a second to question Cameron's jawline? Can we just take a second about that? Because I mean, I know what you're trying to do with that, but the blend just kind of makes it look a little bit beardy. So, I mean, if you were wanting to do a Conchita Wurst tribute act, great, yeah, really good. Because that's what I'm reading from it, beardy queen. I love how in this discussion, Cracker is totally aware of what she is. And she looks fabulous in her outfit. I'd have liked a few more rhinestones on the bodysuit, but I would always like a few more rhinestones. So, now to the meaty part of this episode. Okay? Vixen. Just before we do though, can we just, with Calorie sitting behind her and eating popcorn? Oh my god. Okay, so back to Vixen. So you come in saying, I came to fight. You instigate a fight between Cracker and Aquaria. You then, in your next challenge, mock them both. You shout at Aquaria, who is just clearly socially awkward and inept, about her jokes not being funny. It's a joke not directed at you, but you go for her, even though it's clear she just can't tell jokes. It's not her forte. You cut Eureka off from conversations, and when she reacts to that circumstance, you go for her. She apologises to you and takes responsibility. And now you're the victim. It's a difficult place to be. I know better than most. It's a difficult place to be the only one in the room who is in the wrong. I get where Vixen's coming from. Racism is alive and well in America, the UK, across Europe, Russia. The world has not got over this thing about race, and it's not going to anytime soon. And we need to talk about that. You know, where Vixen's coming from, things are massively stacked against black people. But when all the other people in the room are disagreeing with you, all the black people included, it's maybe time to look at yourself. Maybe it's not a race thing. Maybe it is just that you start arguments. Anybody and everybody who has been and worked a Ru gig knows that the fans are absolutely bonkers. Super territorial, and it's like they're a bit crazy. And they forget quite often that these people on stage, these queens, are actually human beings, that they're just doing a job. Racism within that community is rife online. And it's absolutely disgusting. There's some incredibly important things that Vixen has brought up on Drag Race, and we should be talking about them and educating each other. I just feel like that message has become diluted and lost a bit because of her needless aggression towards other people in the competition. Picking your battles is an incredibly important skill as a queen and just generally as a person. Vixen realises that this is not going well for her, and she doesn't agree that she's done anything wrong at all. So she does the only sensible thing that she can do, and she thanks all of her fans, and she thanks all of her supporters, and leaves. Miss Cracker tries to stop her leaving. Wait. But she's made up her mind. She's decided, that's it. I didn't come here for this. Asia thinks it's our job to teach each other and her how to behave. Monique thinks that Vixen is talking out of an experiential place. You know, she knows what she's on about. Mayhem wanted Vixen to stay and be able to articulate her stance more clearly. Rupaul thinks it's time to let her go. I don't know whether this will cost Asia the crown or not, but her emotional response is a little bit OTT, but it does feel real. Rupaul explains that she got where she is from recognising how to behave in different situations. Now we've had the fighting, let's do some crying. Ugh. The segue into this is a little bit clunky because there's so much left to unpack from Vixen leaving, but on we go. On to Dusty and her problems. Super upset. Monique and her trauma. Super upset. Blair and her trauma. Super upset. Monet and her problems. She makes plenty of jokes about it all and makes light of them. Even the Pussycat wigs get a mention. Yua and her problems with her parents. She makes light of it as well. Next we're on to a little bit of tooting or booting, which is, really dominated by return of the sponge, return of the sponge, and Monet brings Ru her own sponge dress and gets a toot. Toot toot! Asia and Cracker bury the hatchet. Well, it's still in Cracker's back, but Asia is sorry it hurt. Mayhem on Asia and Aquaria not loving her drag. The difficulty for someone like Mayhem is that she has such a high bar before she enters the workroom, unlike someone who isn't known. Monique starts it with Cameron about how different she is in the workroom to how she is online. We get a bit more understanding of where Cameron kind of actually is in terms of she was working as a hairdresser rather than a professional drag queen. Monet, however, hits the nail on the head when she talks about her saying she's keeping quiet so she doesn't get a bad edit. Rather than being real, she's keeping it all inside. Library time! My favourite of this is actually Vanessa responding back to Calorie. Oh my god, just too good. Who are you again? Who should win? That's the question asked, and everybody gets a vote except for Cameron. It's certainly been an eventful reunion. if, for me, a little dissatisfying. Too much not fully explored because not enough listening from all sides. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back for our final review next week. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too, and I'll see you all then.